Welcome to the jungle.
Selamat datang ke Kinabatangan. See you in Kinabatangan.
Good morning, everyone. The conference will start at 9 o'clock, so I hope everyone can be ready to join the conference for the conference opening. Thank you. A very good morning, selamat pagi, kopi siang, and welcome to the second International Conference on Business Studies 2021. Yang berbahagia, Profesor Dr. Chemist Technologist, Dr. Taufik Yap Yun Hin, Vice Chancellor of Universiti Malaysia Sabah. Yang berbahagia, Professor Datuk Haji Kasim Hajimat Mansur, Dean of the Faculty of Business, Economics and Accountancy, Universiti Malaysia Sabah. Yang Berusaha Dr. Rosili Asid, Chairperson of the Second International Conference on Business Studies, ICoBS 2021. Kam, the Deputy Dean of Research and Innovation of the Faculty of Business, Economics and Accountancy, Universiti Malaysia Sabah. Dr. Marso, Head of Unit Sekolah Tinggi Ilmu Ekonomi Bulungan, Tarakan, Indonesia. Professor Dr. Apotheker Dedi Prima Putra, Rector, Universitas Dharma Andalas, Indonesia. Dr. M. Rizal, the Dean of the Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Dharma Andalas, Indonesia. Assistant Professor Sorat Abdul Satta, the Dean of the Faculty of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences, Fatoni University, Thailand. Academic Forum speakers, Professor Siva Mutali, Deputy Head of School, Leader Marketing and Digital Marketing from Melbourne Institute of Technology, Australia. Dr. Narong Hassani, Assistant Rector of Investment and Raising from Fatoni University, Thailand. Dr. Sri Gunawan, Senior Lecturer from the Department of Management, Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Airlangga, Indonesia, and Associate Professor Dr. Asniati Bahari from the Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Dharma Andalas, Indonesia. Industry Forum speakers, Mr. Shaharul Nizam Muhammad, the Chief Financial Officer of Selcom Timur Sabah Sendirian Berhad, Dr. Majna Al-Nafai, Head of Marketing Research Department from ELM Company, Saudi Arabia, Mr. Iring Maulana, the General Manager of the Swiss Bell Hotel, Tarakan, Indonesia, distinguished guests and conference participants, industry partners, organizing committee members, university, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to welcome everyone to the Second International Conference on Business Studies 2021 with the theme Embracing the New Normal Towards Global Business Success. And to our delegates from overseas, we'd like to virtually welcome you to Sabah, Malaysia, Borneo, the land below the wind. ICoBS 2021 is jointly organized by the Faculty of Business, Economics and Accountancy, Universiti Malaysia Sabah, Sekolah Tinggi Ilmu Ekonomi, Bulungan, Tarakan, Indonesia, Yayasan Pendidikan Dharma Andalas, and Fatani University, Thailand. To begin our conference, I would like to invite Mr. Wijaya Kamal Ramlan for the recitation of Doa.
Thank you very much, Dr. Oscar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning and salam kampus rahmah. Before we start with the recitations of the dua and prayers, we will start with the recitations of Al-Fatihah for the Muslims. And for the non-Muslim, you may recite your own dua prayers, based on your own beliefs and religions. Al-Fatihah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين صراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. O Allah, on this glorious morning, in conjunction with the opening ceremony of the Second International Conference on Business Studies, ICoBS 2021, we uphold our hands to pray gratefully, to thank on your infinite favor to us till we can live in peace and harmony, to perform our task as your servants. O Allah, we ask your blessing to make this occasion a success. O Allah, you are peace, and all peace is from you, and all peace returns to you. O Master and glory, guide us among those whom you guide. Grant us health and pardon among those whom you grant health and pardon. O Allah, unite us for the right solution. May this conference attain its objectives and provide us with full knowledge. Give us mercy from your presence and shape for us right conduct in our plight. We ask for your knowledge which is beneficial and sustenance which is good, and deeds which are acceptable. O Allah, grant us the strength and the right effort to make the appropriate actions on all subjects that we agreed among us. O Allah, verily we ask you for the best application and the best success and the best deed and the best reward. May this conference will establish a global relationship in various aspects and set a medium for exchange ideas and information. O Allah, you are the most forgiving and the one who loves forgiving. Therefore, forgive us and wish all delegates in this ICoBS 2021 a very pleasant and a memorable experience. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وقنا عذاب النار وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. شكر الله منكم.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wijaya, for the recitation of Dua, and may our conference these 2 days will be blessed by the Almighty. Now, before we start, I would like to remind our attendees and participants on several important issues. The first one is to everyone, please mute your microphone during the presentation by our respective panelists. And this is actually to avoid unnecessary echoes. Secondly, if you have any questions or you need clarifications from our panelists about their presentation in the forum discussion later, feel free to write in these questions in the chat room. If time permits, we will deliver the questions to our respective panelists for their response after the discussion. And thirdly, this seminar is also being streamed online in Facebook. So we encourage and invite everyone to search for the Faculty of Business, Economics and Accountancy, Universiti Malaysia Sabah Facebook account, and you can watch us through Facebook Live. And please share this Facebook live streaming with your colleagues as well and your networks, okay, for the conference. So first and foremost, to open this seminar, I would like to invite Yang Berbahagia Professor Datuk Dr. Haji Kasim Hajimat Mansur, the Dean of the Faculty of Business, Economics and Accountancy, Universiti Malaysia Sabah, for the welcoming remarks. Professor Datuk Dr. Haji Kasim, please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good morning. First and foremost, welcome to Honorable Professor Datu Technologies Taufik Yap Yun Hin, Vice Chancellor of Universiti Malaysia Sabah, yang berusaha Deputy Deans Dr. Rozili Asid, in charge of Research and Innovation of Faculty of Business, Economics and Accountancy, UMS, Dr. Beatrice Lim Fuyi, in charge of Academic and International, Faculty of Business, Economics and Accountancy, UMS, and Dr. Arif Kamisan Pusiran, in charge of Student Affairs and Student of Faculty of Business, Economic and Accountancy, UMS. Our special gratitude to our guest speakers, Professor Siva Mutale, Deputy Head of School and Discipline, Melbourne Institute of Technology, Australia, Dr. Narong Hassani, Assistant Rector, Investment and Fundraising, Fatoni University of Thailand, Dr. Sri Gunawan, Senior Lecturer, Department of Management, Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Erlangga, Indonesia, Associate Professor Dr. Asniati Bahari, our former faculty members also, few years back, is from Universiti Dharma, Andalas, Indonesia. Industry forum speakers, Mr. Syahrul Niza, Selkom Timur, Sdn Bhd, Alam Mesra, Kota Kinabalu. Dr. Majda Al-Nifai, ELM Company, Saudi Arabia. Mr. Irang Maulana, General Manager, Swiss Bell Hotel, Tarakan, Indonesia. And to all distinguished guests, presenters, participants, lecturers, and our special dedication to organizing committees, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very pleased to be here today, and it is also a great pleasure for me to welcome all participants to the visual conference of the second International Conference on Business Studies, ICoBS 2021, which is jointly organized by the Faculty of Business, Economics and Accountancy, Universiti Malaysia Sabah, Sekolah Tinggi Ilmu Ekonomi, STIE, Tarakan, Indonesia, Universitas Dharma Andalas, Padang, Indonesia, and Fatani University, Thailand. Honorable guests, Datuk-Datuk, ladies and gentlemen. This biennial international conference was launched for the first time in 2019. This year marks the second edition of this prestigious conference, in continuing the tradition in hopes to initiate ties among researchers as well as strengthen existing bonds and create new friendship. The theme of this conference is embracing the new normal towards global business success. It's very relevant and timely in this era of pandemic environment. We hope that this conference will shed new lights for everyone to cope with the new norms and give some insight, contemporary information of the current situation. In the last year and a half years, we have learned so many lessons, so many issues and challenges. The short-term implications of this global challenge are evident everywhere, but the long-term consequences of this pandemic COVID-19, how it will reshape and sustain world economy, are still difficult to imagine. This conference therefore provides two forums for business practitioners, policymakers, and scholars to come together to share ideas and knowledge on related issues in global business success. We succeeded in receiving over 80 conference papers with presenters from various countries such as Malaysia, Indonesia, and Thailand. Yang berbahagia, Datuk, ladies and gentlemen, as the Dean of Faculty of Business, Economics and Accountancy of Universiti Malaysia Sabah, I would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to our co-organizers, namely Sekolah Tinggi Ilmu Ekonomi, STIE, Tarakan, Indonesia, Universitas Dharma Andalas, Padang, Indonesia, and Fatani University of Thailand for their full support, cooperation, and contribution to the second International Conference on Business Studies. I will also like to congratulate the organizing committee led by Dr. Rosalie Asid for their enormous work behind the scenes to ensure the delivery and success of this very important event. I wish all participants are very fruitful and productive sessions and will be able to benefit from presentation and discussion in this conference. With that, thanks. Thank you and hope you have a wonderful presentation, deliberation, and fruitful discussion. Thank you. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ano?
Thank you so much Yang Berbahagia Professor Dato Dr. Haji Kasim Haji Mad Mansur for the warm welcoming remarks. Next, without further ado, I would like to invite the Vice Chancellor of Universiti Malaysia Sabah, Yang Berbahagia Professor Dato Chemist, Technologist Dr. Taufik Yap Yun Hin, our guest of honor, to officially open and inaugurate the second International Conference on Business Studies 2021 with the theme Embracing the New Normal Towards Global Business Success. Yang Berbahagia Professor Datuk Vice Chancellor, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera and salam UMS Campus Ramah. Good morning and a very warm welcome to all delegates, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very pleased to be here today for the opening of this conference, the second international conference on business studies, ICoBS, by the Faculty of Business, Economics and Accountancy, Universiti Malaysia Sabah. Ladies and gentlemen, as companies move toward reopening, as the COVID-19 pandemic shows signs of easing up, many leaders are choosing to take alternate paths and change the business model. Even in these early days of recovery, there is a new normal in business. The COVID-19 pandemic does not stop at borders. For this reason, coordinated international strategies to embrace the new norm of operating, strategizing business and its economic impact are more effective than going it alone. This pandemic has forced companies across vertical to make the tough decision to either shut down their operation or pivot to a new business strategy and reconfigure their workforce. This pressing situation of the pandemic has had a silver lining. Companies have realized that a different way to operate that might even be better than what they were doing before. Embracing the new normal will take some time. As businesses adapt to changing circumstances, they are preparing their workforce for what might be. Right now, we are in the next normal, the stage between where we were and where we are headed. When the economy goes through a big upheaval, it often creates a seismic shift in how companies operate. It happened just over a decade ago during the 2008 recession. Economists predict an even deeper one is about to hit as business recovery is a post-COVID world. The new normal definition alluded to new ways of doing things due to drastically altered circumstances. As companies resume a more regular rhythm, they all regained their long will instead of the day-to-day survival mode they have been in. Companies must adjust and adapt using new business strategies based on a new normal communication and also operation best practices. I believe that the time for talk is over, and we should now focus on real action. We have the opportunities to reset and to reshape the post-pandemic recovery towards a better future. Yes, we need to build back better and truly understand what that means. To kick off our conversation over the next 2 days, allow me to share a few top changes that will take place while we embrace the new normal in business. The first sign that a new normal is upon us is the huge wave of remote workers who will not be going back to the office. The world might be witnessing the beginning of the end of the workplace as we know it. 80% of the global workforce is comprised of frontline workers, and this dispersed population will continue to grow as companies reinvent their concept of organizational structures and transition to more virtual workspaces. During the COVID-19 crisis, companies have had to act and react with incredible urgency to shift operational strategies to achieve their original objective. There's been no time for the normally relaxed schedule of long, drawn-out strategy sessions. Companies have had to make rapid-fire decisions with team members in different locations. The good news, with the right digital tools, many companies were able to transition and find new ways to get their job done through creative strategizing. That's a lesson that will last. The entire workforce, from leaders to frontline workers, is gaining a new sense of confidence in risk-taking. In the new normal, company will become more innovative by building an agile foundation. This crisis has proven that adaptability is a key element for operational function and survival. Adopt a more freestyle approach to research and development. With mobile tools, meeting will make ways for ongoing creative dialogues initiated top-down and bottom-up. Employees at all levels will have learned how to quickly pivot and try new approaches to performing their job, collaborating, and accomplishing tasks. Many businesses were blindsided by this crisis. Companies should take this opportunity to create an enterprise risk management framework to anticipate and to be prepared for the next crisis, whatever it might be. To minimize disruptions, companies must learn to identify, assess, monitor, and mitigate the impact of a risk on their business. As businesses find a comfortable pace of working again, long-term success and survival will depend upon their resilience and adaptability. And that will take the commitment of an entire organization. It's fair to say that a few companies will be the same after they have been dusted themselves off and get back on their feet. But chances are they won't go back to the old way of operating. Welcome to the new normal in business. Ladies and gentlemen, the second international conference on business today is embracing new normal towards global business success, which is aligned with the current call of time into the business world locally and globally. And I believe the organizing committee of the conference has outlined and will bring to the table a lot of issues on this topic that will benefit all of us. The strong holistic collaboration between the government, the industry, the private sectors, people, professionals, and academicians is paramount to ensure the achievement of the way forward for business success at both the national and international level. On that note, I wish all of the delegates and participants for this conference a fruitful discussion and memorable stay in Kota Kinabalu, Sabah. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yang Berbahagia Professor Datuk Vice Chancellor, for officiating this conference, and we appreciate your support and time by spending your time with us this morning, okay, despite your busy schedule. And with that, the second international conference of business studies, ICoBS 2021, is officially open. Now is the photo session. I would like to invite everyone to turn on their camera for the photo session. And smile to the camera. All right, so smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more time. 1, 2, and cheese. 3. Thank you so much. And for the next session, it will be the industry forum with the theme, How Business Could Thrive in the New Norms. There will be 3 prominent industry players who will be sharing with us their insight about the topic, and they are Mr. Shahrul Niza Muhammad, the Chief Financial Officer of Selcom Timur Sabah Sendirian Berhad, Dr. Majda Al-Nafai, Head of Marketing Research Department, ELM Company, Saudi Arabia, and Mr. Iring Maulana, the General Manager from Swiss Bell Hotel, Tarakan, Indonesia. The industry forum will be moderated by Mr. Adnan Al-Fariti. Mr. Adnan is a lecturer in the Department of Financial Economics of the Faculty of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences, Fatoni University, Thailand. He is also a business and marketing consultant as well as an entrepreneur. With 5 years experiences from account payable analyst at BSF Shared Service Center Limited at Menara TM, Mr. Adnan also graduated with a degree in business administration and Masters of Finance from the International Islamic University, Malaysia. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to hand over the session to Mr. Adnan Al-Farati as the moderator to the industry forum of ICoBS 2021 with the theme, How Business Could Thrive in the New Norms. Mr. Adnan, please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. Thank you, Mr. MC, Dr. Oscar. Thank you to all participants. Very good morning. Today, we have a first session for the conference ICoBS. This is my first time that joining with the UMS and all others participants and delegates in the international conference. Thank you so much for investing your time with us on this Wednesday morning. Welcome to Industrial Forum, to the session that we are waiting for, inshallah. My name is Adnan Al-Fariti, and I am a moderator here in the first session of the seminar, inshallah. Just in a nutshell of my bio, and then I'm from Pattani, southern province of Thailand. As you know, that we are, Muslim minority in the Thailand, and we have a small university named Pattani University. There is, after post pandemic, if the country is open, we are all welcome to all of you to visit Pattani University, inshallah. For not further ado, I would like to start my our industry forum. In my 2-3 years ago, I never would have imagined that the world would be changed so fast like this. At the time of Chinese government quarantine the city of Wuhan on 23rd January on 2020 and stop all overseas tourism, the impact was felt immediately to the world in economic, educational, technological, and business matter. Many things might be relevant before, but now during the pandemic and no longer seem important. Meanwhile, other factors that were formerly considered optional have become indispensable. Now customers change the way they work, the way they think, the way they behave, the way our children studying, learning, thinking also change. The world has changed, so we also need to change. We need to change the way we do a business as well. Digitizing of offline to online is a must, not a should. It's a survive. It is a survival, not a choice anymore. Right? We heard this word before, and currently we are facing the new paradigm of the world in business term and also in marketing term. Today, we are going to highlight the strategy that business can use to operate and thrive in the environment using the new normal. The question for today's forum is how business could thrive in the new norms, where we will be talking about the big trend, the problems and solution of industry by the expert professional practitioner, which is a panelist today, which they are here today as panelists. The topic discussed is very important that we need to keep our eyes and ears on that could directly impact our business in the world of new normal. Whatever our role in the industry, we will come away with something, a new idea and fresh perspective, a new strategy that can apply to be more successful in our business. So I would like to explain the format of the forum. We will have only 2 parts. For the first part is panelists to share their experience for 20 minutes each. And then the second half of our time is a Q&A session. That maybe the question come from the participant or come from the moderator itself, inshallah. And then we will start the industry forum by first speaker until the third speaker, and then we have Q&A session and then closing. That's it. Okay, let's start with the panelist introduction. Our first speaker is Mr. Shahrul Nisa Muhammad. He is a CFO, Chief Financial Officer at the Selcom Timur, Saudara Berhad. at Kota Kinabalu, Negeri Sabah, Malaysia. And he joined the management team on the 1st April on 2010. And at that time, the company was experiencing the financial distress and needed professional and competent officer to manage the financial matter and prepare an appropriate recovery plan to be implemented. And with his available experience, he applied excellent negotiation and problem-solving skill and swiftly identified the root of the problem through the company out of the financial crisis. And even strengthened the foundation of the company and relationship between customer, supplier, contractor, banker, and regulator. And then second speaker today is Dr. Majda Al-Nifai, PhD from Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology. She is currently the Chief Marketing Research Officer at PLM company in Saudi Arabia. Her expertise in big data analysis and business insight. Dr. Majda has worked in different government projects as well, taking the responsibility of analyzing big data and design strategy for dashboard, which is support leader decision making. Last but not least, Irene Maulana, Mr. Irene Maulana. He is a certified hotel administrator, CHA. This is the highest certification from the American Hotel Lodging Educational Institute. Currently, he is General Manager, GM, at the Swiss Bell Hotel International, Tarakan, Indonesia. He also has a 5-year experience at the Swiss Bell Hotel. Plus, within another 24 years in the world of the hospitality business that he loved very sincerely. My favorite, his favorite quote is surround yourself with people who talk about vision and idea, not people. Inshallah. Okay, now it's time that we are waiting for. Let's start with the first speaker. Most of the business that suffer from the pandemic crisis, we realize the importance of ICT. Today, we are going to listen from ICT points of view, how ICT can apply the business marketing in the new normal. Here to share experience and view from telecommunication person perspective. Please welcome Mr. Shahrul Nisa Muhammad. Mr. Shahrul, please.
Yeah, thank you, moderator and organizer, for giving me the privilege to be the first panel today. So, okay, I have slide here. I try to share the slide. Right. How is it? Is it in the presentation mode? Right. Okay.
Yes.
I have a personal experience and personal justification why the ICT is very important is the new norm. Because 2 days before the government enforced the lockdown, my family and I, we took a flight from Malaysia to be with my in-law to live in a small village in Ganta, Indonesia. This area is remote and lack of facility. So it's very difficult to communicate with others. I have to buy a lot of SIM card and I have to keep changing the provider. So when we talk about this ICT, we talk about, we have to talk together with the paradigm shift, the process of change, and to make this success, we must have a political will. Assalamualaikum and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. To be given the opportunity to speak in a conversation about subject that has been the source of many problems in the world, the dreaded COVID-19 and the numerous lockdown following its path actually is indeed a great honor to me. It is a problem that continues to affect a big part of the world population, and today's forum will look and deliberate from the positive angle of how business could thrive in new norm. Today, I will be sharing my personal experience in maneuvering our organization during this pandemic while assuming a position as one of the key decision makers of prominent telecommunication transmission service provider in the second largest state in Malaysia, measured by geographical size and the number of population, which is in Sabah. So my talk on this topic will be divided into three parts. The first part is about recognizing the impact of the pandemic and the government measure to the industry and the company. And then in the second part is to relate the surrounding scenarios and reflect to the potential of the company. Finally, I will draw the attention of the delegate to the importance of ICT in delivering the new norm. Ladies and gentlemen, COVID-19 and the world scenario. I said the world has changed dramatically since the emergence of this terrifying COVID-19 pandemic in the late December 2019. Virus mutate, produce various variants in search of advantage either for better attachment to the host cells and the ability to replicate faster. World, human, and viruses initiate the process of change repeatedly until they find the new equilibrium point. Every change in the world will inevitably affect the economies and society. The impact of change will vary according to the level of severity that will be faced and felt by individual or class of people. Perhaps a large number of delegates here may have come across a code of wisdom. To improve is to change. To be perfect is to change often, by Winston Churchill. Heraclitus, the famous Greek philosopher, expressed a wise word around 500 BC. Nothing is permanent except change. Now, we are already toward the end of year 2021, another one more month left. It appears that the word is relevant and change is indeed still something important that we have to deal with constantly. For me, perfection in organization can only be achieved if we occupy the basic need of the business and flexible enough to respond to change. Therefore, every business that wants to be sustained for an indefinite life must have a set of processes to deal with any changes that may occur from within or outside the organization at any point of time. So my question today to delegate, do you already have the step in place to cope with change and uncertainty? On 18 March 2020, Federal Government of Malaysia issued the Malaysian Government Movement Control Order, commonly in Malaysia we refer as MCO, or we refer as PKP, a series of national quarantine and accordant sanitary measure in response to the COVID-19 pandemic in the country. MCO measure encompass restriction on movement, assembly, international travel, and extreme scenario mandated the closure of business, industry, government, and even educational institution in effort to curb the spread of severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus. This is the virus that caused COVID-19. The MCO was extended and relaxed to the different phases in 2020 and 2021. So in the part one, we recognize the impact of the pandemic and government measure to the industry and company. Ladies and gentlemen, point one is impact to the industry. We all know that the efficient economy is formed by four factors, which is household, firm, government, and foreign sector. And its center is the capital market, which balance the entire economic system. The two important roles that need to be played by each sector in the economic system is the responsibility to spend and continuous production to maintain healthy economic circular flow. The economic concept that consumer need to know is that the market system is driven by supply and demand. As most of us has gone through and heard, this MCO introduced by the government has changed the lifestyle of the community where the majority of the time is spent at home. During the MCO, only essential service and frontliners like us in Celcom Timur Sabah are permitted to operate while the others are only allowed to go out to attend only important and pressing matter in very short time. As the school and higher learning institution is closed, the teaching and learning process went online. Government services are mainly open through online service. The government over-the-counter service can only be made through appointment that must be secured online. Fear of being affected by COVID-19 has led consumer segment to make transaction online to avoid interaction with the outside community that may be vectors carrying the virus. Following market demand and pressure to survive and stay relevant, sellers are slowly changing the way they operate by creating online businesses either by telemarketing or through internet. Selling product and service over the internet has many disadvantages and limitation because consumer cannot fit to measure, touch to feel, try to taste, and even smell. Various methods are used by sellers to gain consumer confidence in their product, including obtaining certification as a proof that the product is safe and authentic. Recently, the role of social media influencer and multi-level marketing business partner has become important. Their existence is being recognized and the talent is growing every day. The direct impact to the information communication technology industry as a whole is positive. In terms of demand, the pandemic has created a need to deploy ICT-related function from many customer segments with greater network capacity, higher speed, wider network coverage, and higher quality expectation. Providers who are able to respond quickly to the market will have advantage in terms of customer loyalty, enjoy premium pricing, and making super profit. The second mover has the opportunity to wait, witness, and take sample to review the mistake made by incumbent and evaluate point of improvement to match customer expectation, feed customer environment, and reduce production and operating costs. The last mover will probably exist after the crisis end, where they will only enjoy a small margin and compete in a fierce market. During this period, the product is more or less stable. Many sellers offer similar services and buyers have a stronger power to choose. Once the product cycle has reached this stage, the product needs to be regenerated and industry needs to reset and refresh. The popular quote used to describe the whole process is build, destroy, and rebuild strategy. And ladies and gentlemen, impact to the company, Celcom Timur Sabah Sdn Bhd, or I name it as City Sabah, is a company that operates in Sabah and Labuan to provision telecommunication network transmission service. Is also affected in many aspects due to pandemic and government order. The day before the MCO started, I myself has been contacted by the Malaysian Communication and Multimedia Commission in Malaysia, we name it MCMC, to get an update on the network capability, availability of spares of equipment and material for maintenance and to support new order, continuity of supply, manpower arrangement, and business continuity plan. All of these were comprehensively compiled in a proper report and presented in meeting with all industry players after that. The business continuity plan presented is recognized by MCMC as a well-structured, properly coordinated, and cover all areas of concern and provide a certain level of comfort to our client to face the current uncertainty of the MCO. Ladies and gentlemen, demand from customer. Demand for additional capacity suddenly increased from average daily consumption, even exceeding needs during the festive and election session. The need is increasing every day, especially when end users start working from home and doing online learning. The government has instructed the mobile network service provider to provide 1 gigabyte per second quota for free to their subscriber from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily throughout the MCO. As there are such initiative, users who are typically prudent in using data begin to use data beyond normal consumption. And eventually, some of them subscribe for extra bandwidth capacity and higher processing speed. At that time, the use of the internet has become an important routine and developed into a lifestyle that households use for entertainment purposes. Information gathered from our sales and distribution team revealed that many residents started buying smart TVs for online content streaming. City Sabah analyzed the need of our service into two business segments, which is transmission service to telco tower, and another one is fiber to the premises, where we also call it as FTTX. Prior to the MCO, capacity requirement for business transmission used by mobile network operator to serve mobile phone customer spread. It's a spread between city and residential area during the day and peak at 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. in residential area. In normal situation, the area that usually has all-time peak is university area. During the MCO, demand was very minimal in commercial area as it's now shifting to residential area where traffic is always busy around the clock. After a few weeks, users start to feel and realize that the use of mobile data is no longer practical and economical because the quota are limited and the cost to get additional quota can be high. In residential area with ready FTTX infrastructure, the take-up rate is high, suddenly surge. We have an example like Felda Sahabat. This is very remote area. This infrastructure has been built since 2015, but the maximum take-up rate only reached 6% in early 2020. And now, what happened now? The take-up rate is already 42%. Felda Sahabat is a remote area in Sabah. The people have strong purchasing power. Prior to the outbreak, residents, they were not interested in fixed internet service because each of them, including their children, have their own mobile phone. Demand for high-speed broadband at home is increasing in all areas in Sabah because it is faster, can be shared by many people in one premises, fixed monthly fee, and unlimited quota. Ladies and gentlemen, supply of services. Excessive use of voice and data services can cause traffic congestion. The mobile network operator once suggested to their subscriber to minimize the use of video during meeting. If the advice is followed, the subscribers may experience a better quality of service while waiting for the completion of network reconstruction to cater user requirement. Typically, mobile network operator will maintain a reserve capacity of 30% of the average monthly usage in their network in the event of a sudden capacity surge and be able to meet capacity growth while waiting for network upgrade. However, when this phase occurs, change in the capacity and location of service needed are unprecedented and it happened faster than expected. City Sabah core business is all about network coverage, bandwidth capacity, and service quality. Our business model is to develop expandable network infrastructure, upgradable network capacity, and never compromise the service quality in any decision making. If I can sum it up perfectly here, we are building a set of unlimited capability and a resilient network to connect Sabah and Labuan to the rest of the world. To ensure that this idea can be implemented perfectly, we need to determine the right balance between fixed and just-in-time variable in the factor of production. The four factors of production in economics include land, capital, labor, and entrepreneurship. When this pandemic struck, the management previously made decisions were tested to determine how many should be taken as fixed and how many should be on call can be further discussed in this conference. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is on the part 2. We relate the surrounding scenario and reflect to the potential of the company and company acceptance to change. Like I mentioned initially, I'm in Indonesia that time with my family. My wife is from Bandung. And then my CEO in Selangor, another part of Malaysia. And my chief technical officer in Kota Kinabalu, Sabah, where our head office is located. There are only 3 senior management in this company, and we are located in different locations. The technical and IT team are put on standby at home and will proceed to location when they are assigned job. Some of them temporarily relocated to another strategic district to be on standby. The network monitoring team are stationed in the office, and in the event of office closure, the system has been enabled or related function to be accessed remotely. The finance and support team works from home and permitted to enter office if there is an urgent need only. Warehouse, inventory, and logistic team work as usual with limited number of headcount at every point of time. Despite being in different locations and work remotely, we have prepared with a clear strategy and well communicated across the organization and supply chain to deal with this situation. The pandemic has tested and proven the reliability and effectiveness of our strategy. Ladies and gentlemen, communication is very important. Management regard communication as the most important thing in an organization's success. Effective communication is more than just exchanging information. It's about understanding the emotion and intention behind the information, as well as being able to clearly convey a message. We need to also listen in a way that gain the full meaning of what being said and make the other person feel heard and understood. A good communication helps employees become more involved in their work and help them develop a better understanding of their job. Clear, precise, and timely communication of information also prevent the occurrence of organization problem. During this period, the company engagement has been fostered among employee, supplier, contractors, and customer, and also regulator. Meeting venue are often held via online channel, and if there is any update, we will provide via WhatsApp group. Everyone must be concerned about their colleague work-related matter, health, and also emotional status. Through this approach, the employee know about each other better, develop a spirit of togetherness, and work harmoniously in the organization. What the management aspire to do here to reposition the business entity into human institution and not just merely act as a medium to generate the maximum money for stakeholder alone. Ladies and gentlemen, the importance of ICT in living the new norm. I have witnessed many positive effects that happened during my 14 years of involvement in this ICT industry. Prior to the pandemic, we once had a 5-star hotel customer who used our internet service that had changed the profile of hotel guests from a short-term stay to a long-term stay. There are also a hotel that used to be just a vacation or holiday spot for tourists visiting Sabah that had turned into a meeting, incentive, conference, and exhibition destination due to having reliable internet facility. Ladies and gentlemen, select the right balance of a marketing mix. We must spare a time to re-evaluate the effectiveness of the 5 essential factors involved in marketing good or service to the public. The 5 P's of marketing is a simple way of thinking about marketing plan across 5 main areas: product, promotion, place, price, and people. This marketing mix can help the business to formulate a plan to ensure the introduction of the product or service to the market is successful. It is important to always put the customer need at the center of the marketing plan. This will ensure the business are always delivering the right product expected by the market. Not simply offer any good or service the company can produce. Certain innovation to the product may be required to meet customer expectation. The main obstacle during the lockdown is the customer stay at home and the business cannot make sales at physical store or mobilize door-to-door sales activities. The avenue that available 24 hours a day, open daily, and is able to reach prospect around the globe is only through virtual marketplace and online platform. There are many channels that can be used, such as Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Telegram, Mudah.my, Lazada, Shopee, TV, website, telemarketing, and many others. Compared to traditional marketing, I can say online advertising is much easier to tweak. Whenever the campaign needs to be modified, online marketing allows the modification to happen without having to worry about downtime, service interruption, or even halting the entire system. For a certain product, the distribution of the product can be made through online applications such as Foodpanda, Grab, and Lala Move. Ladies and gentlemen, dare to change. Getting out of the comfort zone is the hardest thing to do. The question of why we must fix things that are already good has generally strengthened the opinion of society why we must continue to remain at current position and doing the same thing over and over again. Moreover, the changes to be made will involve new costs, and there is a risk that the outcome of the decision will be worse than the existing condition. Such questions and excuses have made many reluctant to make changes. Changes require courage from every individual. City Sabah will not have the courage as what we have today if we have never been through difficult times where this company almost went bankrupt and major shareholders planned to dissolve this company in 2003. However, the CEO at that particular time who had been assigned to prepare the divestment plan has done the opposite. He made a turnaround and City Sabah is now being recognized as the owner of the most comprehensive fiber optic transmission network in Malaysia, the most profitable business entity in fiber optic transmission business. In Sabah, ranked number 1 in end-to-end network reliability and stability as compared to nationwide performance, and able to provide the cheapest bandwidth leasing solution in Sabah and Labuan. The pandemic has changed us. We no longer need to think about leading the change. We also no longer need to think about failure. The only thing that we should worry is about today's survivability and continue to sustain for a longer period of time. In order to reset, we need to observe the opportunity, listen to customer need, adapt to the new norm, and react with realistic strategy. After making all relevant assessment, and if you find that the purpose of the business is no longer relevant to the customer need, from that point of time moving forward, the business have to be brave enough to redefine the business purpose. Internet is the answer to all need. Internet offer everything from basic service, safety, security, comfort to the lifestyle, product and services. Combination of fixed and mobile network services is the perfect mixture of complete solution. There's a popular Chinese proverb that says the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Now is the best time for business to reap the benefit of ICT. Store the information on a server or start with the cloud first, then subscribe and extend the internet facility to all employees. Business can access the information anytime and anywhere to gain better benefit. The business encouraged to automate process by develop IT-based system. By doing this, we can simplify a complex processes, reduce time spent, and able to manage big data to make a better decision. In the past, ICT-related goods and services were classified as luxury. Now, there are various types of products with a wide range of prices to cater all market segments and its buying power. Ladies and gentlemen, as a conclusion, I almost toward the end of my individual slot for this sharing session before we go to our next speaker and proceed to question and Q&A session. What I'm trying to emphasize here is the business must have a proper change process. Make changes when the times come. The systematic way to begin the thought process is by creating the checklist of what is necessary to do by associating the purpose of the business with relevant economic theory, management philosophy, and refer to the marketing guideline. Communication is the most important thing in any situation. Whoever is in control over the communication will win in any war. This point need to be given a serious attention. The best business platform is via online. Take advantage on it. It's easier to say than done. Not everyone has the same capability, knowledge, and expertise. Here, the role of government is very much needed. The government need to proactively act as a facilitator and drive this entrepreneur to be on the right track. When merchant can no longer afford to rent office space and an expensive tool, allocate them a reasonable virtual office space or any type of online ASEAN Giga market to start. It is not enough to just provide facilities, but it is also very important to provide adequate ongoing training program so that they can be competitive in the market. If the government do this, in my view, our entrepreneur can be equipped with all the strength they need and the country can achieve sustainable economic growth. Ladies and gentlemen, the pandemic and the consequences that we are facing now is not an end, but the beginning of the next chapter in our business journey. There are many ways for our business to thrive in a new norm. The obvious one is to follow the trend, which is to leverage on ICT infrastructure and platform. They're all from me for now, hopefully beneficial for all to moderator. Thank you.
Inshallah. ICT is a core important of the business in the new norms. I like the sentence that Shahrul quote just now. We connect Sabah to the rest of the world. A wonderful experience shared by the Mr. Shahrul Nisa. Thank you very much for your sharing, Mr. Shahrul. We get many points from the speaker in terms of ICT. This is show that the ICT is the key point, the key tools that we need to use in our business in the new norms. Next, I would like to inform that Mr. Iring still have technical problems with the WebEx. In case if he cannot enter in the WebEx, we will have only two panelists for today, inshallah, but it's okay, never mind. Now we'll trying to connect with Mr. Iring. Hopefully we can listen from him, inshallah. Now, next, how online service could impact on the cost saving. Right. Nowadays, we are talking about the online service, online platform, and how can we reduce the cost of running a business, and also the role of the data analysis and the impact of the decision making. We are talking about the big data right now, right? The data is the asset right now. So you see the blockchain technology, right? The cryptocurrency, the value is from the data. So the most important thing in the new normal is the data analysis, right? The increase in the risk of cybersecurity. Also in last week in Thailand, there is a hacking of the bank account from nowhere, from abroad. And suddenly, about 10,000 of bank customers have been hacked by cyber hacker, right? So the money withdrawn from their bank account without knowing, until some of them are realized that there is something mistake about the security of the bank, so they are informed to the police, the report to the police, and then after that the bank come to conclude that someone can hack the bank account. So nowadays the cyber security is very important. Now we are going to listen the Chief Marketing Research Officer plus expertise in the big data analysis, Dr. Majedah Al-Nifai. Welcome. The floor is yours.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. Is my voice clear?
Yes, very.
Thank you very much for having me today. I just would like to know if the slide will be shared from your side, from my end. Hello?
By your side, Dr. Mashta.
Okay. Seems that it cannot be shared by my side.
Maybe I can help you to share.
I'm trying now. No? Is anything shared on the screen? Hello?
Yes.
Is it shared now?
Yeah, it is shared already, but not in this present. Okay, that's good.
Okay. Yes. Thank you again for having me today. Today's topic, it's from my experience, as now I am working on digital and e-service industry in my country in Saudi Arabia. So we're gonna cover three or like four topics that I have personally experienced during and after the pandemic. So we're gonna start with the first topic, which is obviously the growth on in e-services market. As you all know, there was a huge booming on e-services, and I am sure all of us have seen there are a lot of industry has converted their services from physical to e-services. And this kind of a transformation not just help to ease the business, but also help the company to save or maybe another word we can call it cost reduction for different factors. One of it is reduce the consumption of physical offices, as well as and there are a lot of changes in terms of workforce. Like for example, during the pandemic, most of the employee work from home, and after the, like during the recovering phase in 2021, we witnessed it. We witnessed that there are like hybrid work system where you can work from home for some days, and some other days you can work from the office. And it was really interesting to find out that the requirement for traveling to do business or to meet a client has been reduced, and some of the business they don't need it anymore. All of these factors has impact the cost of on businesses, and it's lead to a lot of cost savings. Speaking of the growth of e-services, it was very interesting um, to see it. Like I was looking through the statistics, then I found out that the e-services has been a growth in their revenue, and the growth reached to or around 294 million by 2021, and the majority of this revenue were for went for not online, sorry, food delivery. Can you imagine like how the booming happening in this industry, in food industry, specifically in food delivery, with the estimation of revenue for this year is 270 million, which is the major amount of the revenue for the whole industry in 2021. It's very interesting fact, and seeing this kind of a transformation leading to not just a growth in the industry, but also leading to a growth of small businesses. For example, we can, and if I talk about my country, there are a lot of food, the logistic industry has been open, and they are most of them are local, are Saudis, due to the growth in this industry. So that's all for the first topic, and generally the growth on e-service market has impact the importance of data. Businesses nowadays, they have only one source to understand what's going on in the market, and this source is only the data either available on their applications and their website, or sometimes available in any other like governmental source. Increasing the importance of the data led to increase the importance of data analysis to find out different factors in the market. For example, companies need to understand customer behavior, customer size, need to understand more about competition and competitor in the market, need to know about their sizing in the market, and all of this fact will not happen without data analysis. So the importance of data analysis increased more and more during last 2 years, and increasing the importance of data analysis led to increase the importance of having different dashboards that help and assist the company to take the decision. And I believe most of the decision now based on different type of data of dashboards. It's become dashboard itself become industry nowadays. I am working in that domain, and every day we have a huge amount of requests to create different kind of data of dashboards to understand such a topic in the market. So that's all for the second topic. Now I am moving for the third one, which is connected to the second topic, increasing the importance of the data, and as well as increase the growth in e-services marketing has increased the risk of data security. I'm just would like to share something from my experience. Now most of the companies like try to use another vendor to create either application or even to create their own dashboard, and all of this kind of services has somehow not fully controlled environment, which is called public domain. This kind of norm has increased the risk on data security, because the company has no full control on the data security. However, they are forced to use all of these vendors to either to do data integration between different platforms they are offering, or either to, as I mentioned, to create different kind of dashboards. Therefore, the importance of cybersecurity in last 2 years increased more and more. From my experience, because in my work, I produce different dashboards. That's like when I was during my work, I realized that we need to have a lot of knowledge from cybersecurity, otherwise it will be too risky to create all of this dashboard without having all of that checklist for the cybersecurity. Then I started studying different certification in cybersecurity to ensure that all of our products are full secured. So this leading to a last topic for today, which is a mix of different specialties. Um, all of this new norm in business has created a huge impact on in specialties and the group or like the team who are working on e-services industry. If I talk about something also I witnessed, I realized that for example, in data science domain, there are a lot of specialties required to work with them to create a really mature product. For example, they need marketers, they need cybersecurity team, they need a QA team. So there are a lot of specialties now working together to make sure that they can sustain in the market, and they make sure that all of the risk possibility has been managed. Um, and also the e-service itself become highly competing, so that's why there are a lot of effort the company has to pay to make sure that they have something with high quality and make the difference between them and their competitor. So basically, this is the 4 elements I would like to cover today. And also I would like to share something very important. E-services has been increasing all over the world, and it was like when I saw the last statistics. It was very interesting for me, especially because I saw my country become the second most growth e-service country in the world after China. It was very interesting to see how the Saudi government investing heavily in this industry. And to see all of this transformation happening in my country, and I am sure that this will lead us to a better and a bright future, and not just in e-service industry, but also in the economy in a whole. So that's it for today.
Thank you, Majida. Such a wonderful presentation about the digitalization of the business in the new norm. Just wrap up with the point that Dr. Majida have shared just now. One is growth in the e-service market, right? To reduce the cost of traveling, utility expense, everything is reduced. And then we are just sitting at the home and we can work. We can do anything that we want in just one click, or at the same place, right? And then the second one, increase the importance of data analysis. Right, in the we have now nowadays we have a dashboard, we have a Webex, we have a Zoom, Google Meet, that we can discuss and have a meeting to have a decision making right away. And then increase the risk of data security. I just mentioned this now, the cyber security, of course. Right? If any one of us have invest in the stock market, we should looking at the company that give the security, cyber security service, right? Because before they are less important, but right now every big company need the cyber security because nowadays the technology of computer is growing and the hacker also is growing and then the information, the data in the big company is a big asset. You know, the most expensive asset is the data of the company. So all the company need to be protected, you know, by uncertainty environment nowadays, right? And the last one is the mix of specialty. This is I like this one, the last one, which is the data science, right? Because nowadays marketing is not, we cannot just put a marketing. We cannot just say what the product, but we have to analyze the data, right? The data tell us everything, right? As I know that after in the future, the AI will know already what we want, right? Even ourselves, we not sure what we want to buy. Even ourselves, not sure which color is better, but AI know already. So this one is the impact of the data science analysis. Okay, it's just wonderful presentation. Thank you, Dr. Majida, again.
You're welcome.
Now, I got confirmed that Mr. Irene cannot be accessed to our webpage. So, is it confirmed, right, that Mr. Irene is not with us right now? Okay.
Yes, sorry, Mr. Adnan. Yeah, I received the same news.
Yeah.
Mr. Irene could not join us, okay, due to a disruption of an internet connection from his area. Yeah, we're sorry about that.
So we proceed to the Q&A session, and we are on time, right? 9:30, and we are in the Q&A session. Now we have two experts in ICT industry, right? Telecom, Sabah, and also in digital company from Saudi. I also, you know, this is the first time that I listen to the idea of IT digital technology from Saudi Arabia, that I also hopefully that Saudi will develop the technology to be the country that, you know, lead by the digital, right? Because now I'm looking to perform Umrah, perform Hajj, and everything. We still need to do, you know, manual. Right? We need to do manual. So after this, maybe everyone Muslim around the world need to go to Umrah or Hajj. You know, just a few click only, so they can have access and have the chance to go there, inshallah. So now we are in the Q&A session. Please, the floor is yours, all participants. Or anyone can type in our webpage chat box also.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Nanya. To all participants, please write in your questions or inquiries in the chat box if you have any, and then our moderator, Mr. Adnan, will post these questions to our panelists, yeah, during this Q&A session of the forum. Thank you.
Actually, Mr. Adnan, you don't have to worry about click. In this new era, I think Dr. Majda will offer you a solution of face recognition. And from the face can tell you everything, because I went to a mobile world conference in Barcelona. We just walk and the system will guess what is your age.
Oh,
There
mashallah.
is a guessing. Yeah, if they have the information about you, definitely from the face they will tell you everything. Currently, what we are doing is how we monitor the vessel through RFID. So from the tower, we detect all the vessel at the sea, and then they communicate. We know the travel history of that particular vessel. So this would the same thing will happen. The same thing will happen to human after this.
It's like such a movie, right? Before we watch a movie, now it's real already. You know?
Yeah.
Today we still not talking about the metaverse, right? I wonder there is a question posted on the Facebook in my colleague that in the future we perform umrah with the virtual. Is it so? No.
If that permitted, if that permitted.
Okay. So, is there any question? If no, uh, uh, I would like to ask Mr. Shahrul
Yeah.
that in the Malaysia, what is the role of the Celcom in the future about the virtual metaverse? How the Celcom prepared to, nowadays there is a cryptocurrency, right? There is a lightning cryptocurrency, there is mining, there is, so many things. There is that new generation talking about that, which is I am 40 years old already, not understand what their language are talking about, right? So my question is, what is Celcom's, playing a role to the future of the NFT or maybe metaverse or maybe blockchain technology? What do you think?
Okay, Mr. Adnan. Actually, Celcom Timur Sabah and Celcom is a two different company. Celcom Axiata Berhad is the mobile operator. Similar in Malaysia is similar to Maxis and Digi. So Celcom Timur Sabah, we are a special purpose vehicle in Sabah to do a transmission network provider to Celcom, Maxis, Digi, and others mobile operator. Our role here, our role here is to carry the carrier traffic because Sabah is too big and the population is scattered, that there is no investor want to invest in Sabah. So what we did, the government did, we perform a joint venture company, Celcom Timur as a SPV, which is the members in the Celcom Timur Sabah is a state government via its investment arm, Warisan Harta Sabah, or now they call it Khazanah Sabah. And then Celcom Axiata Berhad as another joint venture member, and also Hugo Success as a private investor. So three party. This is joint venture. We carry traffic. So what is our role in this metaverse? Our role still the same. We carry the traffic to the user, to the mobile operator, to the enterprise, to the hotel, because but the difference is we must carry a bigger traffic at higher speed, and we already built it. We are 5G ready. It's just the 5G haven't deployed in Malaysia, but actually in terms of infrastructure, we are 5G ready network using MSOTN. We call it a multi-service optical transmission network, where we can carry from Kota Kinabalu to the right the end Tawau at the speed of less than 4 milliseconds. That is the speed that we can carry. Actually, we are ready. We are ready for your information.
Okay, thank you, mashallah. Okay, so now we can see that you are trying to develop the Sabah state, right, to be high speed network to connect to the world. Inshallah. Now there is a question from Dr. Bamini, Dr. Majida, how paramount has the big data been in terms of your market research, and how do you see the development in the future?
Okay. The beginning of the question is how is what, but I just lost it.
How paramount has the big data been in terms of your market research?
Okay, so the importance of big data increased more and more. Nowadays, we combined both in our projects, which means that we still need the traditional marketing research, of course, because we are in new norms. So we need to go live and collect data, but there are a lot of data as well coming from the applications and from our users online. So what we are doing nowadays, we try to combine both to come up with efficient outcome or efficient business insights. But I would say that big data itself become more complicated nowadays because not just because of the sizing, because of the multiple sourcing that we have to collect the data, and we spend a lot of time to verify the data has useful insight to the company. Previously, maybe the data was more structured, but nowadays, due to the increase of e-services, not all of the data that we pull up from the system it's beneficial for the company, which make it more complicated because there is no other source to understand what's going on except that source. So we work hard to find out like different ways to have meaningful insight. One of it combine it with the traditional marketing research.
Okay. So any more questions from the participants? One question, Dr. Majida, is there any business opportunity in the Saudi Arabia?
For what?
In the I mean the digital business.
Yeah, my country now has a massive growth in digital domain. As I said during my presentation, Saudi Arabia become the second most growing country in terms of digital domain after China. Which is really good news for us as a citizen. We think our country is leading in the world. From my personal experience, now everything in my country become digital. You brought the example of Hajj and Umrah. If you come to Saudi Arabia, you will realize that there are a lot of digital option and e-services option for Hajj and Umrah performers. However, it might be not available abroad, but inside the country, of course, there are a lot of projects started already in last Hajj season. Also, we witnessed that there are some of the serious services in the country become online. For example, the court. Nowadays you can meet the judge only through online. You don't have to go all the way to the court to do any business or any request you have there. There are a lot of transformation going, of course, in Saudi Arabia in all of the sectors.
Thank you very much. Now that if there is no more question, so I would like to come to the closing. That the final question has been answered and bring us to the end of the forum. On behalf of the ICoBS 2021, I am Adnan Fariti. I would like to thank you all the panelists, Mr. Shahrul, Dr. Majda, and then Mr. Eric, even though he cannot access to us, but he already prepared the slide. He already have intention to join us today, but sadly that he cannot access due to technical problem. But it's okay. Yeah, you are in the list, Mr. Eric, and then for all panelists' contribution to this seminar, such an important role in making a business to be successful in the new norms. Once again, may Allah give you a reward to all of you. Today, forum would not be happened without your support and advice along the way. Last but not least, I am an Adnan Authority as a moderator here. I apologize for any shortcoming. I am going to end the forum now with wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you.
Thank you, and all speakers for the fruitful roundtable industry forum and discussion just now. And yes, yeah, we apologize for Maulana because he could not join us for the industry forum due to a disruption in his internet connectivity in Tarakan, Indonesia. But we hope that we can engage and invite Mr. Ireng again in the future. Now, since UMS, University Malaysia Sabah, is the host for this year conference, therefore, we'd like to invite all attendees to watch two promotional videos about tourism in Sabah and University Malaysia Sabah. On that note, the morning session of the Second International Conference on Business Studies 2021 with the theme Embracing the New Normal Towards Global Business Success has ended. To all our distinguished guests, invited speakers, as well as all conference participants and attendees, thank you for your time spent with us this morning. We are now on a morning break. Oh, okay. Before that, okay, I would like to invite everyone to turn on their camera again for a second photo session. And please fill in your attendance, okay, with the link which has been provided by our conference secretariat, yeah, in the chat box. Yeah, turn on your cameras, smile, say cheese, 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more time. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you so much. Okay, now we are now on a morning break. We will be back again at 11 o'clock for the morning concurrent session. Therefore, to all conference participants and especially to presenters, please check your presentation schedule for these 2 days concurrent sessions. Yeah. Once again, on behalf of the organizing committee of the Second International Conference on Business Studies 2021, thank you so much and have a great and fruitful conference. And see you again. Thank you.